Moving on from the previous database, we now have LGBT thought and culture, which is as the name suggests, much more cultural database relevant to LGBT history, LGBT individuals. It's much more impacted by people, places, things more so than a standard database, certainly more so than the previous database we took a look at. So we'll get started right away. And right on the first page, you can see a lot of really interesting information. It's set up much more as a magazine or a popular resource would be. You have suggested materials here, interesting readings, things like that. And these are all basic functions available to any user who is first browsing this page for the first time. They would see interesting what's new information that they may not have read before, older materials that cycle through relevant to a menagerie of different subjects. And then right here on the very side of the page, we have the tools that any new user may need immediately. So that's browsing through a list of titles, collections, serials. This is if you don't have any subject in mind and you strictly want to browse the materials on hand. There are 150,000 pages, so it would take a while, but you could find at least something of interest, maybe to hone down your search, or if you don't have a specific topic yet, that could help you. They have archival collections. This is a archived resource, so it has primarily older, less up-to-date materials. And then the subjects, which is especially helpful for researchers not necessarily familiar with the LGBT community. This is helpful for those who maybe don't know relevant terms, or if they do, they don't know the controlled vocabulary terms, etc. So now let's go right to searching this collection. So you can see I've done a couple of searches here, but why don't we search just here in the basic search. So we'll look up a particular individual and see what we find. So we'll search Miss Marsha P. Johnson and see if we find anything good. And ideally we should. So you can see that right away we do. We have materials either related to her. This is a booklet. And some things not related to her. So this is where I'm finding some of the faults of the search tool. But this first one here is relevant to her. Marsha P. Johnson, 10 Sons, the Transformer. And so you can see it's written by this person here in 2012, and it was first published in Gender Outlaws. So would we like to read this material? We could click it and then so on. But now let's take a look at instead the advanced search tool. I think this is a fantastic resource, or at least the setup of it is very unique compared to other databases. So here you can see that we can search by words anywhere in the article, and we will do that in just a moment. You can see full text transcripts, author, separate authors, separate subject terms, and then where this has been discussed, what communities. And from these you can select all given terms and it will load a list based on what is available to you. It makes it very easy on the back end to find things provided you know the specified information. And then here you can see that it has a variety of other specialized areas that you can click to be interested in and then move on from there. These are very helpful for those who don't know where they're looking to research, as is the previous functions available. And all that points towards a good resource for those trying to break into the subject. So let's try Stonewall with words anywhere here. And we can't think of any authors. Should we have thought of some, we could find them here relevant to Stonewall. And you can see that the criteria has matched down to 541 items. But we'll do that search and we'll see what we find. And certainly we do. Many materials relative to Stonewall, and that is essentially the basic functions as well as some of the advanced tools available in this database.